Hey guys, welcome back to Garage Gym Sessions. So today we're going to take you through our top 5 tips for deadlift. So number 1 is hip hinging. This often gets left out, but it's really important to allow your body to move correctly and safely. So what we mean by that is getting your hips in the right position and actually getting to move like a hinge. So like this, rather than bending your spine like that, which is a really common fault. So what we're going to do to start with is just practice some hip hinges by pushing your bum back and up. And a really good cue here is to imagine you're mooning someone, and that gets you into the perfect position. So just a few demo reps. Keep your eyes focused forwards. You'll feel tension on your hamstrings, so it's slowly down and quickly up. Once you've done that, you can progress on to using a bar. So once you've done some hip hinging at body weight, then try some hip hinging with the bar, just to getting used to how it feels. Put your hands just outside your hips, and just literally rolling the bar down the front of your legs to just above or below your knees, depending on how flexible you are, keeping your back nice and flat, and back up again. What we want to try and avoid is your spine rounding and arching. That can cause serious injury. So just get used to hip hinging at different speeds, at different angles. Keep your shoulder blades squeezed together, your chest out and your head up. So number 2 is setup. And you'll notice I haven't got my shoes on. There's a reason why for that. We'll come on to later. But with the bar in front of you, you want to step your feet shoulder width halfway underneath. And just imagine you're sitting down on an imaginary chair behind you. Grab hold of the bar. And that should get you into a position where your knees are over your toes and your shoulders are over your knees. Your hips are above your knees and your shoulders are in front of your wrists. Then you want to push back through your heels, almost lifting your toes up, and look up. That's super, super important. Try and bend the bar, pull your shoulder blades back, squeeze them together, and hold that position. Get used to it. So from the side, this is what it looks like. Okay, so knees over toes, shoulders over knees, hips above knees, shoulders in front of wrists. Sit back, pushing pressure through your heels, almost lifting your toes up, looking up, bending the bar in half, squeezing your shoulder blades together, chest out. Get used to that position. So this is too far forwards, this is too far back. Okay, so this is the position you want to start with. So number 3 is position, which extends on really nicely from the setup, which we were just talking about. So once you've got yourself set up and you're in position, don't start the lift until you're absolutely ready. So make sure everything is in place, it feels good. Another really important tip here is to press your knees out against your elbows, just to get your glutes engaged. And then we're squeezing the bar up, okay? So it's not a jerk, it's a squeeze. Take your time coming down. So what we want to try and do is almost have no noise from the plates clanking against the bar, so none of that. Make it as quiet as you can. Breath's really important here as well, so breathing in on the way up and out the way down. Don't rush what you're doing, take your time. Obviously with the lighter weights you're going to be able to move quicker, but that doesn't necessarily mean you should. And with heavier weights you're obviously going to be moving slower, which is going to force you to get into the right position. But again, there's slightly more room for error there. So having someone watch you do this, or having a mirror, or filming yourself do this is a really good way to check you're doing everything correctly. So just coming back to the reason why I'm not wearing shoes, is that's because my feet are flatter and there's a lot more pressure through my heel getting into the floor, whereas sometimes if you wear shoes, it's going to lift your heel up and there's going to be more pressure on your toes. So you're going to be in more of that position, whereas we want to be more in this position for this specific lift. It just allows you to put more force into the floor and have more control when you're doing it. So from the side, this is what it should look like. So try some weights that you can handle within your ability first before you increase your loads. Number 4 is speed. Now, I've already alluded to this in the previous tips, but it's really, really important. A lot of people I see do the deadlift who are either new to it or fairly experienced at it, rush it. And that could be for various reasons, but this is a lift that can quite often cause people pain or injury. So the reason why they tend to rush it is because they're not comfortable. But if you get comfortable being uncomfortable, which I hope that makes sense, then you won't need to rush it. You'll be able to do it at a safe speed that's going to give you the training response that you want. So really important to remember, don't go too fast, but don't go too slow. So on the way up, slow is smooth and smooth is slow. And on the way down, just let the bar drop naturally in front of your knees to the floor. Number 5 is probably the most important point, and that is consistency. You need to make sure that you're consistently in the right position, moving at the right speed, and making sure that every single rep is of the highest quality it can be. The good things done well with high quality over consistent amounts of time add up to good things being achieved. So it's really, really important point. Okay, so there we have it. We hope that's helpful. Go and give it a try. Any questions or comments, drop below. And just a little side note, don't get used to walking around the gym in bare feet. It's not something we encourage for obvious reasons. It just really helps your technique when you're doing the deadlift. So make sure that you're being safe and you have some appropriate footwear on next time you go into the gym.